guys who work for me are way too small and unthreatening.
How do you expect me to do my work without a big, dangerous thug?
I need the motivation of potentially being harmed.
Or worse. How do you expect me to do my podcast without a big, dangerous thug carrying all the tech around?
Carrying a machete behind the camera. Screaming at me in Somalian. Damn. That's a bad day to be Kevin Spacey. You send your handler out to go get you a violent, dangerous thug. He comes back with a Somalian guy. Whoa, that's too violent.
What the hell were you thinking? Listen, I said I wanted a big, dangerous thug.
This guy's 80 pounds, and his name is Fakoob.
I mean, sure, his head is big.
This guy's 80 pounds. 60 of it is his head.
And he might be dangerous, sure, but
not in a sexy way. In a way that I'm concerned for my belongings. What's sexy about this, Octavio?
As like Yakub or whatever is standing right there.
Fayub.
I said I wanted a dangerous, sexy thug.
What the hell is this?
If he's gonna steal from me, I want it to at least be like kind of hot.
I want it to be while I'm tied up and at gunpoint. This guy's just gonna this guy's gonna stab both of us, but he won't kill us. This guy's gonna do an acid attack. Did you even search him for acid?
Acid. The least sexy type of attack.
God, I feel large and in charge in these chairs. I'll tell you what.
I can't really see my things in the way.
No, nor can I. How do I?
If we scoot forward a little bit.
We might have to scooch forward. Okay, well, this is already better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're both just totally out of frame now.
Well, guys.
Welcome back to Chrome Boys Podcast.
Welcome back to Chrome Random.
I have a feeling that our episodes are going to be a lot more thoughtful.
Thought-provoking.
We've had a lot of fun here on Chrome Boys Podcast. We've had a lot of fun over the past couple of years, laughing,
chuckling,
goofing around,
being silly,
and generally just having a fun time. But that's all over now.
That's all done.
Now
welcome back to N-NPR. Welcome back to N-NPR,
where we're going to be tackling ideas, thoughts, debates,
concepts.
Concepts.
Chrome Boys Podcast getting into concepts. Chrome Boys Podcast discovered abstract thought.
Concepts.
Get ready. We're going to tackle a lot of concepts.
Yeah, concepts such as racism.
Violent thugs.
Violent thugs. Where to hire sexy violent thugs. For here. That's actually how we got these chairs.
We had two violent thugs lug them into the basement.
Big violent thugs carried them down the stairs.
I said, watch the drywall, Ignacio. He said, man, shut your bitch ass up.
Shut your bitch ass up.
I said, wow. And
then he called me a word I can't repeat.
But let's just say it puts the N in NPR.
N-NPR.
N-NPR. Yeah, but the second N is the one you're thinking of. It's the first N that's national.
Right.
National
boop. Public radio.
Yeah. But it's National Neighbor Peace Radio.
Right.
Because we at war, brother.
National Neighborly Peace Radio. But yeah.
What about RNPR?
RNPR?
Yeah.
What's the R stand for?
Real.
Yeah.
RNPR.
And we can start up a new thing, the large desk concerts.
Huge desk. Ginormous desk concerts.
Where it's like a giant desk, and behind it, it's so big you can't even see them.
Yeah.
Somebody's playing music.
It's like Thundercat, and he's He's like playing his bass.
But the desk is so big that we can just use a recording of their music.
Yeah.
And be like, yeah, he's there.
He's there. There's Thundercat.
Thank you, Thundercat.
Behind that enormous desk. Huge. The biggest desk you've ever seen concerts.
Yeah. It's just like kind of like a wall.
From RNPR. RNPR presents Mac DeMarco.
Yeah.
Enormous desk concert.
RNNPR. Big ass desk concert.
Big ass desk concert.
Why don't we need a big ass desk concert?
RNPR presents Sexy Red. Huge desk concert.
Sexy Red.
Yeah. Yeah. She's good. I like Sexy Red.
Yeah, you're a big Sexy Red head.
I was listening to Sexy Red on the way here.
Really?
No.
Oh. I don't know.
No, I was listening to Club Random.
I don't really know what her songs sound like, but I can tell that I find her vibe unbelievably off-putting.
Why? Is that because you ain't never been in the room with a powerful ass black woman before?
Yeah. That is exactly why.
I almost couldn't even say that.
I feel like that's one of those things where if I say why, it's probably not a good idea to say why in the first 5 minutes of the free show. Maybe if you turn into the Patreon, I'll say why I don't like Sexy Red.
It's because I can't handle a powerful ass black woman.
Could you imagine being in a room with her?
Every time I think about it every day. What if we were in a Hellraiser dungeon?
What if we were like locked in an elevator that was also kind of like a Hellraiser dungeon?
She would slam my head against the elevator wall a bunch of times.
Yeah, and steal your wallet.
I'm a stupid ass white boy.
Stupid ass white boy.
Yeah, she would probably rob me.
Yeah, she gives off real like gets in fights in the grocery store vibes.
You could have stopped at gets in fights vibes.
Yeah.
She has heavy. A lot of female rappers have gets in fights vibes.
I'm just really trying not to say something. Something came to mind, but I decided to repress it for the good of the show. Now that we're like a new kind of upscale, like has chairs podcast.
We're a has chairs podcast. We're a has carpet podcast.
Yeah, we're not just some like assholes sitting in a pile of cords on hideously mismatched chairs.
Yeah, now our chairs match and the cords are hidden by a carpet.
Yeah.
We put a rug over the big pile of cords.
Well, I had all those dangerous thugs come and do cord management.
I cleaned that fucking place up for you, man.
I cleaned that fucking place up, you bitch ass boop.
You weak ass bitch ass cracker.
Thank you, Octavio.
Thank you, Quail Anthony.
Quailanthony. Quaaluthony.
Trying to talk to black guys about the WNBA. I've been watching that Caitlin Clark girl. She's pretty good.
Really good fundamentals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep seeing, I know there is another flare-up in WNBA update. Now that we're an NPR show, you guys can probably expect a good 20 to 30 minutes of WNBA updates every week.
And why the WNBA needs to be spending a lot of time looking into racism.
Yeah, I saw. It's one of those things, I try to avoid it.
I don't care. Like, I do not give a fuck what happens at a WNBA
I saw
game.
they're like investigating that like fans at a WNBA game were being racist. And I was like, brother or sister, there is... who do you think is there?
Yeah.
Like, if I may speak for all chuds, we're not at the NBA. WNBA.
No.
If I may speak for all Jewish guys, yes, we're at the NBA.
We love the NBA.
We're there. We're wearing one of our Wu-Tang shirts.
We're wearing a Wu-Tang shirt and white pants.
Yeah. We're 55.
And we're wearing a white sleeveless muscle shirt.
Yeah.
And white pants. And we're at the NBA.
And we're fat.
Yeah, we're fat.
We love NBA.
You guys do love NBA. It's distressing how much those guys love NBA.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Again, that's not something we can really get into on the free episode.
Yeah, we're really dabbling into race science a little early on the show this time.
But back to what matters more, the WNBA.
Yeah.
First of all, if a fan is racist at a WNBA game, did that even happen?
Well, okay, like,
how can you even prove that?
A genuine question. I would kind of assume the only people at WNBA games are lesbians.
Yeah.
Who else is going?
Their husbands.
Lesbians and their husbands.
Yeah. Lesbians and their husbands.
But like for real, like what is the breakdown of a WNBA game?
I don't even know. Like, I don't know if I've even met anyone who's given me hard, like, oh, you watch WNBA vibes. Like, I don't think I even know anybody that I could, like, base my...
I feel like I've maybe encountered some people who I would guess were lying for political points.
Right.
And saying that they liked the WNBA.
Yeah, for sure.
But, like, weren't really, like, sports viewers, I wouldn't tag them as.
No.
So it might be there was some, like, like Dickies shorts, short-haired white lesbian.
A white Hermano?
Who had few too many drinks and started going hard.
When you act like one, I'm going to call you one.
Yeah.
Her husband's like, hey, Stacey, chill.
Yeah, it's the most, like, butch chick imaginable with, like, a fade. Dressed like the Jewish guy pretty much with a Wu-Tang
white
jersey.
White Wu-Tang jersey.
White pants.
Yeah, with her husband who's dressed like Mark Zuckerberg.
Who's like half her size.
Yeah, tiny little. The husband who was in the market for looking to date a violent thug and ended up with this like cholo white lesbian.
Kinda came through on it.
Kinda got it, but she doesn't physically fight. She'll just call it like scream slurs.
But yeah, she's had a few too many like
Cosmos.
canned Cosmos.
Yeah.
Well, she act like one.
she was freaking. The lady screaming, by the way, in this hypothetical has like a pretty high paying office job.
Yeah.
She does well. She's like $85,000 a year and is screaming slurs at WNBA games. Yeah.
So maybe it was happening.
Yeah. I really, it's distressing to see how much of like based world Twitter is caring about the WNBA.
It feels like Twitter is sort of adrift right now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because everything in the world is kind of going perfect.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think that's a good point.
So there's nothing real to complain about now, so they're having to kind of make up like phantoms to
unless you're Canadian.
With. Well, yeah, I was talking about Americans.
Americans, though, yeah. Everything's going really well.
Even for Canadians, we don't even notice our own country, so...
No, there's like 12 Canadians online, period, who are upset about what's going on. The rest of them are fine. Yeah.
Well, they're just watching American stuff and being like, wow, everything's going perfect down there.
What? It can't be because of Donald Trump. What else are they doing?
Everything's going perfect down there. They're making giblifications of people getting fired out of the cannon across the ocean.
Giblifying 700-pound Mexican ogres who are getting deported. It can't be. Why is everything going so good down there?
It's perfect.
Better check in on the WNBA.
Yeah, and see if one of the WNBA players was acting like one.
Yeah, it's like yeah. Seeing I don't, and it's accounts I like who are like getting into the WNBA, and I have to be like, guys.
Yeah,
I don't want to be like, show me less of this because you normally tweet funny stuff.
Yeah,
but I truly.
I feel like it's just been kind of like a slow couple news months.
Because things are going perfectly.
And all the libs have sort of self-raptured themselves to Blue Sky.
Right.
So
I forget that's
like
a place.
Nothing real to get that bent out of shape over.
Right. What is Blue Sky is just lib Twitter?
Yeah.
How many people are on that?
I have no idea.
Huh. Have you ever checked it out?
No, I've actually been, because I haven't really been having a great time on Twitter the last couple weeks.
It's kind of, well, they got rid of Indians.
Yeah.
There's no Indians on Twitter.
Yeah.
Everything's going swimmingly.
And it's just like I'll log on, I'll see people getting bent out of shape about the WNBA, and I'm like, I don't really care about that too much.
What is this?
So maybe I need to move to Blue Sky.
See what's going on Blue Sky.
The good place.
The good place.
Yeah.
For an N-NPR podcast like ourselves.
Yeah, maybe that can be our key. We need to we need to find a new audience.
That would be a good audience to have, is like a extremely sensitive, hyper-reaction libtard audience.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome to have.
We'll like report you to the cops.
Who call the cops about me saying the word just there.
Yeah. So every episode we get swatted.
Yeah, truthfully, every time I haven't like kept up with Ethan Klein since I was like probably 16.
Yeah.
But every time I see a bit of news about that guy, it really seems like he's being like that scene in Passion of the Christ where he's getting like scourged with where it's like by these like people that he kind of like chose to cultivate.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, he looks more and more like like a husk of a guy.
Yeah, I think he might have like Ozempic or something. I'll see a picture of him. He looks like drastically thinner than he was.
Well, he just always looks like fat or thin. Every picture I see, he's like beyond fucked up.
I think this is a case where we have to sort of begrudgingly give a W to Dr. Jordan B. Peterson.
Right.
Because I think he famously told him, like,
this will be a problem.
This is going to come back on you getting in with this audience.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
you just don't want to even kind of do it. You don't even want to, like, a little bit.
And now it seems like there's...
We have to get into throat clearing really loud now that we're an NPR podcast.
Yeah, well, I'm working on it.
And sipping water really... Yeah.
But it seems like a few months ago we did our critically acclaimed Asmongold update, and I think there you had mentioned that like Hassan has a like a billion, like a little network of people around him.
Yeah.
And it seems like all those people are essentially devoting all of their time to ragging on Ethan Klein now.
Right. I try not to get. I don't. It's another thing that I like have been kind of like learning about non-consensually.
That's like all of Twitter's been recently. It's just me learning about non-consensual shit.
I don't care
like
about
the WNBA,
Ethan
and
Klein.
Ethan Klein Hassan drama.
Yeah, stuff I've never sought out ever in my life.
Yeah,
is now being like, hey, by the way, Hassan called Asmongold an idiot, and it's like why would you ever? Why the? I want to like push the Twitter algo like against the wall and be like, why the fuck would you think I like that?
I like when I said those names a few minutes ago, I felt a little bit dirty.
You said it, and then there was like a.
Like, you hear that?
What is that?
And it is. It'd be better to just not know at all.
Yeah.
But even my main boop, Asmongold,
yeah,
he's talking about it all the time now.
Right. Well, it's because I think it's really funny. I do think it's like what like streaming has become is like extremely funny, where it's like there's not a single like normal guy in sight. Right,
and they all just rag on each other.
They
for
all
being
hate
fucked up freaks.
It's all sort of like and I've never seen this show, so I'm kind of this is a loose analogy, I think, but this is kind of what I would imagine that show Avatar: The Last Airbender is, where every like element or ideology has their like totem.
Okay,
and it sort of reflects what they either think of themselves or what they truly are, and it's all freaks.
Yeah, and they seem to spend most of their time, like it seems like it's like the locus point now is kind of like Israel Palestine.
Yeah.
Although it's like that's happening over here, and then you have all these people who like they have to talk all day, every day
about Palestine.
Right, but it's sort of like it's been removed from that, so it's just them attacking each other.
Yeah.
With sort of a fig leaf of like, we're gonna end the war, or something, you know.
Or like this is, I don't. Yeah.
But it's literally just like spending all day, every day, doing kind of like schoolyard drama about one another.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see how, because like, if we were doing the show 8 hours a day, every day.
What else is there to talk about?
What the fuck do you talk about at a certain point?
Yeah, it's honestly tough having shit to talk about now that we do a stream also. Now that like 4 hours of my week are like to be like is like I have to talk.
Yeah.
Even by like Sonic Wednesday, I'm like, what am I gonna say?
What am I gonna say this week?
I don't have that many thoughts that I think are like funny and like worth sharing.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? Like there's only so much juice for like stuff that's like of value or like funny in any way.
So then you have to just be like, what stupid things did Hassan say this week?
Yeah. It's really grim because it's like none of them look or seem happy. Like it's all like miserable husk like void guy. You know that Wojak that's like an empty void, he's all black. Mm-hmm. It's like that every time in the corner of your screen. There's like empty shell guy just sort of being like, and wow.
Like on the main part of the screen, it'll be like a different empty shell guy in a different corner,
getting like one-sided argued with.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's just sort of like what's an Ouroboros of the empty husk guys consuming each other because they need something to talk about.
Yeah. It's like Jesus, like whatever. It probably makes a ton of money
I think these people are all making like 8 figures a year.
Like at the end of the day, like I'm that dumbass. I'm an idiot for like looking at these guys, but
I mean the thing is, if for our show every week it was literally a drama update on like big YouTubers fighting, we would probably do numbers.
Yeah,
we probably do significantly better numbers than we currently do.
Yeah, but there's like 150 dudes who would be really upset about that. Yeah, and it's worth it to me to not do that. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's worth it to me to like to have fun and like to like look forward to doing this every week.
Yeah, because if it was just like, because also to do that, we'd have to spend all week like watching. Asmongold and I do that anyway.
I do
that anyway.
I spend all week
watching all those other guys other than Asmongold.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like, are there? And I don't know. So correct me in the comments. Are there any popular streamers who are just like funny?
We're getting into it because now we have these chairs. We're gonna have special brooding segments.
Like, are there any that like don't talk
a special
about
brooding segment on it?
Are there any that are like really popular that are just like kind of cool or funny? Because all I know, the only ones I could name is like Hassan, Ethan Klein, Asmongold, who's cool, but whatever. Don't worry. Asmongold, and then like Destiny.
Well, and then they all have like a network of people who just do the same thing as them, but
for every one of them, there's like 12 sub guys.
Yeah, who are essentially doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, even less cutting, or
they're just like less good at it.
Which is like, I think anyone on Earth, if you give them 2 days to get over like stage fright, could be as good at internet arguing on a stream as
maybe. I mean, but these guys, they do just sit there and like literally talk for a full 8 hours.
I guess honestly, if you ask your average guy to do that, like if you put like Henry Peterson in there, who's a plumber, he wouldn't care after 1 day. He'd be like, oh well, whatever. So like to have that like persistent like rage and like outrage about stuff is like, I guess that's your one like command, is you have to have that. Because if Hassan at any point on a stream was like, man, guys, I don't give a fuck. Who fucking cares?
Well, I think an essential skill is, you know how there's like some people, there's just some people who like they can talk.
Yeah.
And like you interact with them and they just like don't shut the fuck up,
but they don't say anything,
and they manage to like never say anything, but they like somehow never stop having words come out of their mouth.
Right.
I think that's kind of an essential skill
for streaming.
Yeah.
Because even like we keep Sonic Wednesday to like 2 hours, because after that, and we only really do 2 hours of podcasting a week too. Yeah. So after that, it starts becoming like,
that's probably about enough of that.
Well, it's like after 2 hours, like it's just like, okay, like,
because it's like fun, but yeah, you get like kind of tired.
Well, and it's like, I assume you have to like earn people's attention.
Well, then that's why you watch other streamers. This guy's an idiot.
Yeah, because I feel like you like, I don't know, it's like so conceited to like, I feel like you have to be like mad funny or like interesting to get in, to be worthy of to not like waste someone's time.
Right.
You know, and like I that's why we try to keep it like all our time like kind of trim, so that it's like, and it's not always effective, whatever, but like for better or worse, it's like as much as we can pack in there as possible, instead of like super long shit that's like kind of wordy and uninteresting.
I mean, if we were on the Rogan schedule doing 3 hours
Jesus
a day,
Christ.
well, it wouldn't be funny.
We'd be pulling up videos of bears.
Yeah.
We'd be like, check that out.
Wow. Because like you just like, there's sort of a limit of what
to how much you can talk.
Good.
Yeah, that's while still being like funny.
Yeah.
And a lot of like, yeah.
I was talking about doing the Eurovision stream.
Yeah.
But I went ahead and I pre-watched this year's Eurovision, and it was stunningly bad even by Eurovision standards.
Oh.
Which is like bar on the floor.
Right.
But this was like even below that.
Right.
So I might be nixing that idea.
This is uninteresting.
Yeah, I mean, Eurovision kind of always stinks. It's not. The music's always awful.
Right.
The only funny thing this year is, for some reason, Israel is in it.
Good.
And every year, it's sort of like a bit of a controversy, because Israel, like, kind of obviously, like, because they have it broken up. It's sort of the perfect European democracy thing.
Okay.
Where like the people have half of the votes, and then the faceless institutions have like half of the votes.
Okay.
So it's kind of like you get to vote, but your vote doesn't matter.
Right.
But Israel just like really obviously cheats in the fan vote every year. So they win it every year, even though they're like clearly not the most popular.
That's
And they'll even like it's like really obviously like a JIDF plot.
Wow.
They try and win Eurovision every year. But the Eurovision like organization desperately does not want to have to do a show in Israel right now.
right.
So they all like coagulate all their votes around whatever the gayest song is, both like literally and metaphorically.
Damn. Jesus.
Every year it's like Israel's on top of the fan vote, and then all of the bureaucratic ones all go for one like really annoying gay song.
That's sort of like a cool that's sort of like a beautiful metaphor for like a culture.
Well, that's why I like Eurovision.
Yeah.
Because it is like all the problems in culture compressed into like a 3 or 4 hour block.
Yeah.
But like usually you'll have like one kind of okay song.
Right.
This year did not have
Nothing.
that. And like a couple years ago, because it's like a big award shows type thing, so they'll have little like intercuts between things.
Right.
And this year it was in Switzerland, so it was all just like boring like ski
Oh.
shit, like going into a chalet town.
Right.
But a couple years ago, it's all of the clips were this sort of like nightmarish, like it was like a field with like 1,000 tiny little like literal like pod tiny homes, and there's this sort of like multi-ethnic smiling people living in their tiny little fucked up pods.
Whoa.
And that would be like the cut between the show, and then it'd be some like, you know, guy in a dress doing like Stromae style emotional rapping.
Yo. Whoa.
So maybe it would be worth doing the Eurovision stream, but it was like, even for Eurovision,
Kind of tough.
notably bad this year. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. That's
But
good.
It is cool how yeah, it's just at least for the last couple years, every year Israel is really, really obviously cheating the fan vote, but they do not want to have to, because whoever wins the next year they host it.
Oh,
so
yes.
if Israel wins, they have to go to Israel next year, and they desperately do not want to do that.
Yeah, you don't really want to be going to a music festival in Israel.
Not right now, no.
That's not what I would be up to.
Yeah.
Although
why Israel is even in Eurovision?
That's not really nothing. What's Euro about Israel?
Yeah.
Well, I guess what's American about Israel? To be quite frank with you, what's anything but Israel?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Though I think it would be cool if they had a Globo-vision.
Yeah.
That was
Sending
like
Canada there would be awesome.
Well, because basically how it works, at least my understanding, is like the Eurovision, I forget what it's called, like the committee or whatever, is like it's made up of all the public broadcasters from the competing countries.
Oh boy.
So it's essentially like 35 CBCs are who's putting this on. So if Canada was to be in it, it would be CBC running it.
Wow.
So like we would be sending like hey tapping rocks shit like every year.
We'd send just the biggest auntie you've ever seen, who's also a guy.
Yeah, we would be sending some big ass aunties brackets mail.
Auntie bracket uncle.
Yeah.
Auntie bracket cousin.
Well, I mean, it's you can kind of track things because Eurovision this year, and this isn't new, a lot of guys in dresses,
Of course.
and like kind of borderline like frocks.
Okay.
There was one where it's like it's Eurovision. There's one year a couple years ago where like 75% of the people there were like black. Okay. All right. I don't have a problem with that.
Whatever.
Fine by me.
What happened?
And it was all black guys in dresses.
Whoa.
The level of buck breaking that goes
I was just gonna say, like, that's hard to do, to like get a black guy in a dress.
Wow.
That's You go ask your black friend. Hey, would you ever wear a dress for a comedy sketch?
Yeah, it'll be like Iceland going up, and some black guy in a dress doing Stromae style emotional rapping.
The guys who like classified as blacker than.
Yeah.
Damn.
But there's this year was like pretty brutal. So there wasn't even like a good song. There wasn't really any drama other than the annual Israel's cheating, so we have to pick a gay guy. Who's our best guy in a dress?
So you're telling me there's not even any violent thugs at Eurovision this year? Do you think Kevin Spacey watches Eurovision?
Maybe.
That seems like the kind of thing like a gay freak would enjoy.
Probably. I mean, occasionally, because like I think I'm the one person in North America who watches Eurovision.
I don't know anyone else.
Like every year. I've never met anyone else who watches Eurovision.
I've never, me neither.
And like they'll occasionally do kind of like cutaways to the crowd, which are kind of like uniformly like 55-year-old fat gay guys.
Yeah.
And like,
what the hell?
What the hell?
Israel's cheating again.
Israel's cheating. Why'd you disqualify Juiced?
That's good.
Yeah, they did have Tommy Cash was in it this year for Estonia.
Who's that?
You ever seen him?
No.
He's like an Estonian music guy. He had a cool song he released last year that he put out on Pornhub.
Cool.
It's like a music guy who puts out songs on Pornhub.
It's very Estonian.
Very Estonian.
Very cool. Very Estonian.
And they kicked Russia out, and Russia was... Well, you know, Russia's a nation of cheaters.
They love cheating.
And they would occasionally cheat by, like, sending a good band.
Russia does have some great bands.
Yeah, and they were, you know, sometimes cheat by sending, like, a guy wearing men's clothes who does good music.
Yeah, they would send, what the hell are they called? Fuck. Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're a great band.
But they would sometimes send good music, which basically no one else has thought of that.
Like, who would Canada send? Metric?
No. It would be...
They would literally be anti?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It would be like some like throat singing shit, probably.
Wow.
Yeah. 100%. Because it's not like they send like big bands.
Right.
Like in the early 70s, maybe at the very first
like ABBA
one,
did it, right?
ABBA did Waterloo.
Yeah.
Which I think is quite possibly like the only good song that's ever appeared at Eurovision. So like every year they'll have like a Waterloo thing. Like the crowd will sing along.
Because it's the only time a good song was ever played at Eurovision. They're
still hanging their hat on Eurovision 60 years at Waterloo.
Wow.
60 years later. So it's been like the only like actually good song that's ever appeared at Eurovision.
Damn. Holy shit.
Yeah, but this year was bleak. It had nothing.
Huh. Maybe Canada should get involved, send some antis. That'd be good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who do you think CBC would send?
They would send an anti.
Yeah, it's not like we're going to be sending like, Metric or what's that big hipster Montreal band that was really big?
Arkells?
Yeah, no. Arcade Fire.
Oh my God. Oh.
But it's not even going to be on that level.
I just lost -2 health points from psychic damage from thinking of Arcade Fire.
They were huge like 10 years.
So big, dude. Fucking gay. Dude, oh man.
But you could literally go and probably find some no-name local band in any city on Earth that has better shit than anyone
at Eurovision
who's been at Eurovision since 1973 or whatever.
Damn, the Canadian alternative music scene is so tough, dude. It's tough because you know who the big bands are in Canadian alternative music today?
Well, it's what, the Arkells?
It's the same ones that there were 20 years ago.
Still Arcade Fire.
It's the Arkells. It's Arcade Fire. It's Metric, who is good. It's fucking. It's like actually so sad.
But we would be sending more like whoever wins like the Junos in a given year.
Which is who?
By the
way, who is Jan Arden?
I actually have no idea. I know she's some big annoying fat lady.
Yeah, because every time there's like a controversial movement in this country, the CBC is so quick to be like, by the way, Jan Arden is on this side. And every time I see that, I'm like, who the fuck is Jan Arden?
You know, I've never actually... I know exactly what you're talking about, but I've never actually thought about it, but I have no clue who she is.
Does anyone know who this bitch is?
Was she a singer?
I think so, but like annoying people are always like, well, Jan Arden doesn't think Alberta should separate, and it's like, do you even know who Jan Arden is?
Yeah, literally, everything she'll pop up, and it'll be some like annoying Rosie O'Donnell style.
Yeah,
big bitch.
Yeah,
big
and
girl,
a big lady. And it's like, does anyone know who this lady is?
Canadian singer, songwriter, and author.
Huh. What, has she done any big songs?
Well, she had the classic song Insensitive. Oh,
when did that come out?
Is Will You Remember Me? Will you remember me? Oh, no, I think that's a... Yeah, I don't know. She's just some annoying chick.
Canada has a lot of like fake celebrity where it's like Mike Myers.
Well, he did real stuff 30 years ago.
Yeah, but why Canadians would rally around Mike Myers is like kind of baffling to me, because it's like he hasn't done anything for you.
Man, yeah, I had speaking of related, I had a kind of brutal day today.
What happened?
Because through a horrible twist of fate and fortune, I ended up talking to not one, but two elderly boomer weed guys.
Negative 600 HP. Like when you have to do that, I hear the like Minecraft sound of taking damage. Like
And it was two separate guys, both of whom would not shut the fuck up. They were the like talk forever and say nothing guys.
Now weed can do that to a motherfucker.
And like one of them, when he mentioned Trump, I was like, no,
make him stop.
And he was literally doing like the boomer posting IRL about how he hopes somebody kills Trump.
Dude, they love talking about that, hey? The old guys love hoping someone kills him.
So what do you care?
What the fuck do you care, man? Who's he going to touch? Is Trump going to affect your pension?
Yeah, and it's like oh my God. And like combined it was probably 30 minutes between the two of them. And it was like, it happens once. It's like, well, that's bad luck.
Yeah.
It's bad luck I had to talk to that guy.
I'm going home and I'm going straight to bed.
And then like an hour later, it's the same guy with slightly shorter hair. It's like, did you just get a haircut? You came back?
Do you forget we already done this, brother?
I'm like, oh my
You should do
God.
that next time that happens. If a boomer weed guy starts trying to talk to you, be like, you already talked to me about this like an hour ago.
We already talked about how Tommy Chong's actually from here.
We've already been over this, that Tommy Chong is from here and really smart. Like he could have gone to Harvard, right? But he didn't.
One of them was literally asked me like, have you actually read Tommy Chong's books? They're really good. And I was like, no.
Gary, look me in the fucking eyes. Do you think I would actually read Tommy Chong's book? Be fucking for real for 1 second. Do you think I would read Tommy Chong's book?
And that's like, it's a deadly combo.
That's horrible.
We have like a weed guy, plus just being a boomer.
Yeah.
Like those guys can talk
about and they can hit like depths of retarded bullshit that you didn't even think were possible.
And this is earlier today, and other than the Tommy Chong thing and wanting to kill Donald Trump, I don't know what they were saying.
Nothing.
They were definitely talking.
Yeah. There's like old boomers who live in my apartment, and they fucking they all hang out in the lobby all day because there's like
with all the Indians.
So no, they don't. It's kind of like a Cold War between the boomer guys who like to all sip coffee in the lobby.
It's like a high school lunchroom.
It is, because there's only like a little like chair situated. There's like 4 like chairs, kind of like what we have in the lobby. And occasionally the chairs are used by an Indian who's not paying for Wi-Fi, so she uses the lobby Wi-Fi on all her devices to get like her screen time in the lobby during the day.
Do her infinite FaceTime.
Do infinite FaceTime, watching a show in Hindi, no headphones, full volume in the lobby, while scrolling TikTok in Hindi, no headphones, full volume in the lobby, while her kid's on an iPad watching Indian TikToks, no headphones, full volume in the lobby. So they do that.
Right.
And when I see that, I go, good.
Nice.
Good. And that's why it's my life, not your life. I love seeing that stuff. When I see that, I go, good.
Yeah.
Welcome to Canada.
Here, let's go.
Can I hang out with you?
God, there's a period where my frame of reference for Indian people was Triple R and It's My Life. And I was like, man, this is the coolest motherfucking country out there. And then the phone started ringing.
Well, what happened was they took away Apu.
Right. Actually, it's literally all been downhill since then.
They took away Apu, who was like a sin eater for the Indian.
Right.
We talked about this.
Yes.
But so when I see that in the lobby, and the lady, and also she has a big rash on her face, and she's covered in bandages, and I go, oh, good. Oh, yes.
Nice.
Oh, she's got a flaky rash that she hasn't fully covered with bandages.
I feel like I heard you mention this rash like 4 months ago, too.
I saw her yesterday.
Still there.
Still there.
Good.
And I went, good.
Turn it up.
Take the bandage off, baby. It's probably good. It's been 4 months. Just let it all hang out. Please.
Yeah.
So I see that, I go, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
And her little kid is like smearing, he's just touching stuff and running.
Nice.
And yelling at you when you come in to the place you pay to live. A kid yells at you. And I go, good, that's not mine.
Yeah.
He's not mine.
I'm glad he's touching all the buttons on the elevator.
I'm glad we're all paying for Wi-Fi in this lobby for him.
Yeah.
To get his screen, so he can get his screen time in here.
But there's a Cold War with the boomers down there?
So when she's not there, or also, by the way, there's also Indian ladies at night who do, instead of going for walks outside, they just walk back and forth in the lobby to get their steps in. That's also good.
Okay.
I see that also when I come home at night and I go, good.
Yeah.
Why would you go outside? It's only summer.
Whenever I've come over to your place, I always make sure when I've been beeped through to let a couple Somalian guys through after me.
And that's the policy. So I'm glad it was instinctual for you, because that's what's on my lease.
I feel like it's just kind of common sense.
Yeah, it is. You know what's cool?
A couple Somalian guys waiting outside. Come on in.
Get in here. What are you doing? Get on in here. What are you guys doing outside? Get in there.
Come on in.
It's a riot in here. Come on.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll make lots of friends.
What's funny is there's like a community room in the lobby that you can like book out for like events.
Oh.
If you're having like it's like a bigger it's basically like a big apartment that they've like that has like big tables in it that you can like book out for like, I don't know what you'd book it out. I've never had an event where I'm like, gotta use the community room at my apartment, but they have it there. Mm-hmm. And what it is exclusively used for is full Indian weddings in the lobby of my, not kidding. Once a week I come home and there's literally 60 people in the lobby of my apartment dressed.
They're doing a wedding there?
Dude, there's music just, and it's like, and people live on the ground floor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what's like insane to me is like I'll come home at like 9 p.m. on like a Saturday.
Yeah.
Lobby is full of like Indian or Somalian people doing like weddings. They love having parties. Every weekend there's a party where everyone wears white clothes and everyone and the rule of the party is you have to smell really good if you're going to come to the party. So when I go in, everyone smells really good.
That's what a whiteout party is, right?
Yeah. I go in, I go, wow, the lobby smells good. Everyone in here is sweating.
They're probably cooking really tasty, good-smelling food.
Normal
and stuff.
food. They're cooking they're cooking spiders in the lobby.
Delicious slime.
We are eating spiders and slime with like bones in it.
Help yourself to some spider goo.
They literally,
you can eat it with your fingers.
We don't use utensils.
Yeah. Grab a handful of goo.
Just lick it off your hand.
It's made from spiders.
It's from the movie How to Be a God. It's like oil slime. Put it on your face. You lick it. It's good for you. This is literally what happens. Like once a week, they're doing like, or like I really don't know. There's just like an occasion every weekend. Yeah. Where they'll be like all like, or sometimes it's like Indian like club night. It's
just a beautiful cultural difference. Because like it seems like people from a lot of places, they need to be always kind of talking to somebody on their phone. Mm-hmm. They need to be going to giant events all the time. But for a white person, it's like you see your family once every couple months.
Yeah.
You go to maybe 5 or 6 events.
Yeah,
over the course of your life.
5 or 6 weddings in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And an equal number of funerals later on.
Yep.
You know, you maybe have a phone call with a member of your cousin
twice a year. Even
maybe
that's
twice a decade.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I go.
You know, when there's time for a wedding or a funeral, maybe you have a 30-second phone call to just set it up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but like literally once a week, I come home and the lobby is like packed with like Somalian guys or Indians doing something.
Wow.
Yeah, and like a lot of time too, they'll rent out the community room for like they'll just do like club night where they'll just blast fucking like Pitbull. And I'll get like done up like they're going to the club, but instead of going to the club, which is such the most walkable distance from the apartment, by the way, yeah. Like the nightlife area of our city is
right
so
there.
so close to this apartment. And instead of doing that, they'll just go, why would I do that when for free I can book out the community room and invite 600 people over?
Right.
It's only Saturday night.
Yeah.
At a place that people live.
Can you hear it from your place?
That's a great question. I'm so glad you asked.
Really?
The answer is yes.
Really?
So it shakes the building. And also what's cool is there's they go outside.
Oh, so you can hear them from your balcony.
If my window's open, I can just
and while you're trying to sleep.
It's like I live above a club.
Wow.
It's my dream of living
for free?
No, for so much money. You would think, right? But no, I pay so much money.
That's a lot of money.
A ton of money for my income to live somewhere. And it's like I'm living above one of those scary bars that you don't go in because you know you would look weird in it.
Right, like a cool bar on 118th.
Like a bar on Jasper that has a logo of a lion with a crown. You know that you're not supposed to go in there. A bar that's painted purple where the logo is a lion with a crown.
There's a place over called I'll not dox the place. You'll never find me there.
Yeah.
It's called the Zillionaire Lounge, and their lion their logo is literally a lion and a crown. It's called the Zillionaire.
There's
Lounge.
like 100 bars in town that have the logo a lion wearing a crown.
I would get stabbed immediately.
There's one on Jasper Ave called Rain.
Rain.
It's literally like a purple building with a huge lion on the front with a crown. And you just drive by and you go like, well, it'll be empty. And the first time I saw it, it was empty and like it was like an off night. And I drove by and I went, that's not for me.
Not for me. It's like I don't actually even know what type of person goes there.
That's African guys.
Not me.
It's an African guy.
Is that who's going to Zillionaire Club?
Yeah, well, the only zillionaires in the world are guys from Zimbabwe who have a worthless dollar.
I guess.
They have trillionaires in Zimbabwe.
I thought it was either African guys or maybe like some version of like Lebanese guys.
Lebanese guys are just at every club. They love partying and pussy, though.
I guess.
Lebanese guys just love to party.
African guys probably go to Zillionaire Club to do deals.
That's what it is. Yeah. Have you ever been to like an African nightclub?
No.
I went once.
Why?
It wasn't my idea. I was out downtown. I was like 18, and there's one off White Ave. There's like a black people club called Crown Lounge.
Isn't that the one people are shot at all the time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Good question. Yes, it is the one someone gets shot at every year. Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I know this. I think it's also got a lion and a crown. Or
no, it has. I don't know who it is, but it has a black guy on the mural on the front wall. A black guy in a crown.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So and it's called the Crown Lounge.
Right.
And one time, I was like 18, and I was down there. I was like partying. It was like me and my buddy, and then there was like 5 or 6 like women who were hammered who were with us. And these hammered women, we got out of the Uber, and they were like, "Let's go to the Crown Lounge." And me and my buddy were like, No, let's go somewhere else. Like we were like pretty drunk, and me and my buddy were both like, nah, like lady, let's go. You don't want to party there. And they were like, why? I've never been. It'll be fun. And we were like, you don't want to go there. And then they all went.
Yeah.
And then me and my buddy were like, fuck, because these were like, it was like a coworker. Like we were all coworkers, so we were like, okay, I know these people. Like
I'm gonna have to cover their shift.
Well, it was just like these aren't like random. Like these are people I know. Like if something bad happens, like I'd feel bad. You know? So it's like we're like fuck. So we go in and it's like it literally, like, you walk in and it felt like you're in someone's like basement. It's like a business with like leather, like leather couches with like tape on them.
Swag.
And like weird like home coffee tables. Like it had like zero like restaurant furniture.
Yeah.
And the bar had like a regular ass like house fridge behind it. It was just like very like furnished like a house. And there was just guys like there was like hookah machines everywhere. And I was like really drunk, so my memory's kind of hazy, but it was like it felt like a place we're not supposed to be.
I think it is. I think that's a accurate feeling.
Me and my buddy were like, we gotta get the fuck out of here, like quick, because we walked in and we were, by the way, the only white people in the building. So me and my buddy were like, we gotta go. Dude. We're not really supposed to be here. This is weird for us. Like, if you're like white women in a bar like that, that's whatever.
Yeah.
But two white guys in that bar, it's like, this is. Where can I sit?
Right.
Where do you guys want me to sit? You know, what am I supposed to do in here? Where do you guys want me to take a seat? I can't really chill here. You guys are all in groups of 9 sitting everywhere. Like, I don't really know what to do. So we had to wrangle all these like drunk white ladies and be like, we gotta go. Let's for homeless people. Let's go to the bar for homeless people across the street. Let's go to the place where homeless people OD all the time.
Let's go to the homeless guy bar.
Yeah. But
Let's go play pool at the homeless guy bar.
Yeah. Let's do karaoke for homeless guys at the homeless people bar, right beside like a recovery clinic.
Yeah.
But all that to say, yeah, there's a Cold War in the lobby of my apartment, and so so that when the Indian lady's not there, it's like old guys, like boomer lib guys, who all like have coffee in there.
Yeah.
And I overheard them the other day. I came home and they were having coffee. Or I was leaving for work and they were all sitting around and they were like, well, you know, Trump, he made all his money off crypto. And I was like, man, like what?
I can actually relate, because I'm actually pleased to announce it, that today, for the first time, literally since I invested, I'm up. I'm up 0.18%,
That's
baby.
how you do it. That's how you got to play the long game.
Basically, because Bitcoin has popped the fuck off over the last 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
It's gone up like 25% in 2 weeks.
So how are you only up 0.18?
Because I lost a lot of money on the stocks.
I see. Okay. So you should move it all to Bitcoin.
I should have.
Yeah. Do it now.
Yeah. Well, if I sell my stocks, I'll lose money.
So just wait.
But yeah, so you got a bunch of... I've honestly been seething a bit about boomers this week prior to having to talk to 2 separate weed boomers.
They're insufferable.
Because like there's been some discussion this week in Canadian politics this week.
Yeah.
Because like our new federal government has kind of been being like, well, we can't lower house prices.
How are we even supposed to do that?
But there's a reason for that, though. Because their voting base is now old people.
Yeah.
And I saw a couple like instances of like on Twitter of people kind of replying to these stories. And there's one in particular where it was just going to make me a fucking communist. Like some old guy, because like people were being like, what the fuck? I thought you were going to make housing cheaper.
Fell for it again award.
And they like specifically said like, well, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
And there was a guy being like, everyone's getting all mad at boomers. But, well, me and my wife, yeah, we put in sweat equity. So now we have 5 homes. And what, are you going to blame us for that? Are you going to like depreciate our assets when we need them most?
Yeah, we're killing you.
It's like, yeah, man, we're shooting you out of a trebuchet.
We're hitting you with a truck, dude. Like, we're killing you.
Like, fucking guy being like, we're gonna sweat. The term sweat equity.
Yeah, I'm putting in sweat equity, building a huge cannon to shoot you into Malaysia.
Because it's like now, if you're not like 75, your sweat equity gets you an apartment where Somalian people have weddings in your house. Where you get Somalian guys knocking on your door to ask to use your bathroom because they're having a wedding next door. That's what sweat equity gets you these days.
Nuke, dude. Yeah.
And like, it was really like I started hearing the Soviet national anthem reading this.
Started hearing like Randy Orton voices in your head, ready to kill.
We're firing you out of a cannon, dude.
We're going to kill you, my man.
You can have one house.
Look at me, my man. Hey, good work out there. Look at me in the eyes, dude. We're killing you.
We're gonna kill you, bro.
We're killing you, dog.
I saw a few. There was that one really jumped out because the dude used the term sweat equity.
Yeah,
and
which
then,
is
like,
what? Working a 9-to-5 that
just
pays
having
you
a normal job.
Yeah,
and yet being able to afford 5 fucking houses. And it was at like the end of his big screed about like, and interest rates were really high on my $60,000 house, and now everyone's being mean to me. And then like right at the end, he kind of dropped in that they have 5 houses.
Yeah, we're killing you.
We're gonna have to kill you.
We have to kill. It brings me no pleasure. We have to kill you.
There's really no option other than killing you.
What else do you want me to do? My hands are tied here, buddy. I'm over here looking at you, enemy number one, and we're making eye contact through a sea of Indians.
Yeah,
and I'm picking you out as enemy primo uno that we have to kill.
But that doesn't make sense because that's who the like liberals voting bloc is at this point.
Yeah,
is old people, and they have like a vested interest in like what has happened over the last decade.
Yes.
So like infinity immigration plus not building homes is good for you if you already have a house.
Yeah.
Because it takes your $60,000 investment 30 years ago and makes it $2 million.
Yeah.
So it's like they're not going to lower they can't.
No.
That's not in their like political interests.
No, it would be like a huge fumble to do that.
Yeah.
Although like it's just such a risk to try to win back people who they've like disenfranchised for the last decade.
Well, that's how in a few years we'll get permanent turbo gamer fascism forever. It'll make its way up here.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we'll be giblifying people.
Yeah, we'll be deporting old people to hell. You're getting deported to hell.
They'll be going to a camp on Baffin Island.
We should build an island for old. We should do what every country should pitch in for is build like Wakanda for old people.
Yeah, can be called Margaritaville.
Yes. Yes.
Margaritaville, El Salvador.
Yeah. And we'll market it as like a beautiful vacation timeshare. It's a timeshare where you never have to leave.
You won't believe the price on the cruise there.
And
fully funded
by every country in the world because you're such a fucking issue. Except for Japan. I just read a thing in Japan where apparently after Fukushima, like that big nuclear meltdown, old people were volunteering to go help clean up nuclear wreckage because they're like, I'm old already. I can go get irradiated. Why would we make young people do this? Like if they get irradiated when they're young, they're going to be fucked up forever.
God, they're so advanced over there.
I remember reading that and really it set my heart ablaze. Like hate it because old people now would never.
Old people in Canada are floating an idea that we should bring back conscription for young people to be their servants.
Literally.
That's literally the type of idea they're floating here.
By the way, if you conscript Canadian young people to be the elderly servant, you thought Trinidadians were hitting you? Dude, just wait.
Yeah.
You thought that big Trinidadian
Your
lady
diaper's not getting changed, bitch. I'm looking at my phone.
I'm on my phone, and when your little nanny cam battery dies, I'm beating the fuck out of you, dude. I'm putting you through that little gurney. Right? I'm going to attitude adjustment you through that gurney, dude. You're getting the shit kicked out of you, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's such a like it would be whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what would happen.
Yeah. You've never seen a white boy say "not my problems."
Dude, as soon as day one, if I had to work in old folks home, I would.
If you got conscripted to work into an old folks home,
first of all, I would instantly forget how brakes on wheelchairs work.
Yeah.
So anytime I left you, there's no brakes. I'm bringing homeless guys into the old folks home. Yeah. Do whatever you want. I'll bring like 9 homeless guys in a day. Be like, whatever, go do whatever you want in here.
I'll be back in 8 hours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go eat like cereal in the back.
I'm gonna go look at my phone.
Yeah, I'm looking at my phone. I'm hungry. Oh, so am I. I'm hungry too. Because groceries, it cost me $80 to get bread, sandwich meat, and cheese.
Yeah.
I'm hungry too, Grandma. So am
also
I.
Hungry.
I've been hungry for years, Grandma. I'm so hungry.
Hungry for revenge.
Hungry for this. Yeah, hit the Randy Orton pose, and then RKO a grandma through their little coffee table. Oh my God!
Good night, Janet.
Hitting her with like a tombstone pile driver, like Undertaker, like we're like standing 69ing, and I drop her on her head.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
damn, Japanese old people.
Yeah, I read about that after Fukushima, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, obviously, if you're elderly and like there's a nuclear issue, why would you make young people clean it up?
Yeah.
It wasn't their idea, and they stand to lose so much more.
Like life years.
Yeah, if you're already old, you should be. There's so much shit we should be using the elderly for because you're already old.
Well, I think this kind of
Like, we should be using the elderly to test like acid.
I feel like during the sea times,
Mm-hmm.
the shmurm, the unmentionable word.
Yeah.
It really became apparent that our society is like built around essentially sacrificing young people for the benefit of the elderly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's like
That was when it like really became apparent.
Yeah.
But now it's just like kind of looking. That's just like
That's what it is.
that's how it's set up.
Yeah. And like, you know, the term like respect your elders was invented by old people.
Yeah.
And like, if you talk to old people, 19 out of 20 of them are fucking retarded. Like, actually so stupid. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
How fucking stupid most, like 1 out of 20 old people is like cool and smart.
Yeah.
And you're like, and it's like rare to encounter an old guy who's like funny, cool, and smart. Most of them are the dumbest fucking people you've ever met.
These weed boomers I was talking to today
Yeah.
were fucking retarded.
Retarded.
Like, if I talked to a young person
Yeah.
who was as out to lunch as these guys,
Yeah.
I'd be like, do you need help getting to your special bus, buddy?
Yeah.
Like, but these guys...
How'd you get here,
and
man?
I can, like... Maybe these guys have a job. I have a feeling that these guys would not be able to flip a fucking burger.
No.
But they probably are
Dude,
rich as fuck and don't have to.
These people don't even know what caps lock is.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, how is grandma expected to learn computer? Like, they're so new. It's like, first of all, motherfucker, they've been around 20 years. Grandma's had 20 years to figure out computer.
More like fucking 35.
35. Grandma lived with a computer for 30 fucking years. She's had a computer longer than you have.
But you know how sometimes you interact with somebody and it's like, how could you have any job?
Yeah.
That's like these guys. It's like, how could you do
Well, that's the whole
anything?
thing. It's like falling upward. That's the
Yeah.
boomer trajectory. Is like kind of stumbling your way up.
It's really hard not to... Maybe it's just like our frame of reference, and like the Canadian boomer is a specifically like noxious breed. That's possible.
I think they're pretty bad because they're pretty spoiled.
Maybe there's better ones out there.
I think there are.
But
Like, I feel like other
the
countries.
Canadian boomer fucking stinks.
Well, I think a lot of other countries, the like cultural norm is like when you're old, you kind of just remove yourself.
Yeah.
Or you go live with your children and become like a huge burden for years.
Or
but, like,
you live with your children and like cook or something.
you cook, or if you're my elementary school Chinese friends' grandparents, you just never move in a recliner in the basement watching Chinese TV, which is swag, whatever.
But the Canadian boomer, it's like we need to send the young people into like the mines.
I think it comes from like our
fuck with what I see on TV.
Yeah.
It's like I'm so mad about what I see on TV.
Yeah, the TV that's like specifically written for me.
Yeah.
My custom news TV.
Yeah.
But like I think also what it is like I think a lot of the boomer now like feels kind of I think they're all fucked up because they kind of like they did the whole like, well, yeah, if you give us they fell for the social contract of like, yeah, push everything you've ever wanted down the river 60 years. And then when you retire, you can do all that. And then they did that, and they have nothing, and like their kids probably hate them, or like their kids are like they never figured out who they were. They never got in touch with like what's in here.
Well, because at this stage, like our old people are kind of they're all like boomers, right?
Yeah,
and like boomers in the kind of like the literal sense of like the post-war baby boom.
Yeah,
because like I think like the so-called like greatest generation is pretty much all gone at this point.
Or they're like vegetables.
They're like 105 or some shit like that.
They're still calling the big Trinidadian a slur. They're a 105-year-old worm in a bed in a hospital going, If you act like one, I'll call you one.
My aunt had a friend who was I think this lady's actually still alive. She's at least 105 at this point.
Holy fuck.
And like I met her a couple years ago and she's actually cool as
Well, those people had it
She's
tough.
like a Saskatchewan farm girl.
Oh boy, yeah.
Who's like 105, still walks around, has like a Filipino nurse. It's like she was actually fucking swag.
Yeah, because that generation had like nothing.
But like the boomers, I think it's just that like the idealized version of an old person is sort of like, you know, the Italian Nona who's like she keep the recipe alive. And like they're sort of like holding on to some degree of culture that they can pass down.
Yeah.
But like the Canadian boomer, like they shed all of the culture in like the sort of cultural revolution of the 60s. So all they really have to pass down now is like, you remember the Beatles?
Yeah. Oh my God. Music today sucks. And it's like, dude, the Beatles are fucking horrible.
Back when I was a kid, we actually listened to the Beatles and smoked weed.
Yeah.
And like that's all they have to hold on to.
That works when you're like 16. When you hear that, you're like, oh, cool.
That's so swag.
And then you turn 18 and you listen to a Beatles song and you go, this is the gayest shit I've ever heard in my life.
So it's like they don't have anything good to pass on.
No. They don't even have like wisdom.
Yeah.
They have no wisdom. Because like, I've never, and I love my grandpa.
I mean, I actually have a good. I like my parents a lot. They're boomers, but like I have a good relationship with them. It's cool. I'm not talking about them.
No,
like,
I like my grandpa and grandma are smart people.
Yeah,
they're
and
cool.
this isn't like everyone.
No,
it's just like a broad trend.
But that also being said, like even my grandpa, who I like and respect, and I love him, gives fucking terrible advice. He gives fucking horrible advice. And he'll tell me something, and I'm like, I can't do that, man. Like, what are you saying? Like, dude, I love you, but like, what are you saying? You know? It's like you work for like a faceless corporation. He's like, have you talked to your boss? It's like, no, I've talked to some like sub boss who hasn't even met her number or like step one up boss. Like, what do you?
I don't know who my boss is.
No one has a boss with a face. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I work for a computer.
Yeah. I work for an AI based out of Israel. Like, what are we saying here? I say that, and he's like, what?
Well, I mean, and like getting out of touch as you get older is fine.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I feel like for a lot of boomers, and like today I'm steamed because I had to talk to these two like head ass fuckheads, motherfuckers.
Head ass fuckheads.
Yeah, and like, but it's just these guys have nothing of value to pass on.
No, and those guys never did, by the way.
Yeah, it's
a
just
lot
like
of old people.
Spirit of the '60s bullshit. Probably if I kept talking to them, they would have brought up fucking Richard Nixon or some shit like that.
Yeah,
like, you know, like
guys like that though, they've never had anything cool to. There's like, I think less than 1% of all people in that age bracket are like have anything cool or interesting to say, and most of them have absolutely nothing in their heads.
Yeah. I mean, we rag on like Zoomers and stuff because you know
they're not better.
I mean, you get those Zoomers who like can't even talk, but like, I would rather one of those kids who like can't really talk and like has to go ask his mom to like come and interact with you or whatever.
Yeah,
I would kind of rather that than the 65-year-old guy who prattles on about how he hoped Trump gets shot.
Yeah, you should do it then, Jerry.
Yeah, go do it.
Go kill him then. Or then shut the fuck up, dude.
You're fine.
You're good, dude. You've never been more fine.
You have 5 fucking houses. Because you used to sweep up at the movie theater. You have 5 fucking houses.
You swept at the movie theater and he offered you to buy it. Now you own Cineplex, you piece of shit. Yeah. Or it's like, oh, you were like you were in a town of 200 people and you were the first guy to think to make like Chinese food. Now you're like a trillionaire. Like,
yeah, or like, you know, your family had a plot of fucking farmland in the middle of nowhere and the city expanded and you sold it for $20 million.
Yeah. Or a developer bought it and built my apartment that is now for Haitians.
Yeah.
So whatever.
It's rough up here.
We're killing the old people.
And they're gonna bring back the fucking Harms Act too.
Yeah.
Good.
But like we're not Canadian, so that's fine.
Yeah. It's a good thing we're podcasting out of Bermuda.
Yeah, we're podcasting from Trinidad.
Although we do need you to donate to the Chrome Boys bail fund.
Yeah, well we're not based out of Canada, so that's fine.
Yeah, so it actually doesn't really affect us.
Well, how would they prove that?
How would they prove that?
If the Online Harms Act were to, I think could we just be like, yeah, we don't do this in Canada?
I think they could.
Because we're citizens? Hypothetically?
Maybe I won't say live, but I'm pretty sure they could trace it back to me at least.
I guess probably.
It would depend how much they wanted to, though.
Yeah.
Thankfully, our government is evil, but also incompetent.
Yes.
That's kind of the saving grace. Is that
it's very like Dr. Evil.
That they're a bunch of fucking retards who can't do anything.
Yeah, whose nature forces them to hire like 600 people to do one guy's job.
Yeah, so it's like our government, I think the way it operates is it's a bunch of nincompoops who will have like an infinity number of meetings to like change a fucking logo.
Yeah.
So it's like they're probably not actually like competent enough to make us like libtard North Korea as much as they'd like to.
There's way too many parks they have to rename.
Yeah. They have to have 1,000 meetings to rename a park.
Yeah, so we're good.
To name the square in Toronto Abubo Mafufe Square.
Matahika Ganwe. What is that?
They literally did that.
Yeah, they named it Matahita Ganwe.
It was some Abubo Mafufe ass African name. Who the fuck is that? To change our money to some black lady literally no one's ever heard of. They probably had 10,000 meetings about that.
Like, the Canadian government has to have 600 meetings to put Oprah on our money. This is the 50th meeting about putting Oprah. We have to put Oprah on the money.
Yeah. Real truth nuke.
I guess that's so. We have to put Oprah on the money.
Yeah, on every bill.
We're replacing the Queen with Oprah.
They took John A. McDonald out to replace her with Oprah.
Canada should have Oprah on the money.
They might as well at this point. Fuck it.
That'd be so cool if we had Oprah. Oh, okay.
I literally don't actually know the name of the chick on the 10.
No. Well, it's every old person's new nurse.
Yeah.
Who hits them.
Yeah.
What do you want now?
What you want now?
You got to check the website.
Yeah, I mean, I guess on the bright side, all these people will be getting smacked upside their head pretty soon.
They will be going hungry pretty soon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, guys.
Well,
damn. Got to put Oprah on the money.
Oprah on the money.
We got Oprah on the money. Okay, thanks.
All
for
right,
joining
lads.
us.
Thanks for joining us.
See you on the Patreon.
Hop over to the Patreon.
Sorry, this was a bit of a seethoid ep, but I think it was funny. It happens.
It happens.
We're putting Oprah on the money.
We're putting Oprah on the money.
They put Oprah on the money. All right, later, fellas. Have a good week.